Hey guys, Joe here. Today I just want to talk about Moneyball and MVPs. So this video is a supplementary video to my blog post, which is available at creativeapestudios.com/blog, where you can search for it by its title, Moneyball and MVPs, or I'm going to put a link below down in the description and you can check it out there. So basically, the purpose of an MVP, a minimum viable product, is to evaluate an idea that you have for its effectiveness and to see if it actually gains traction with customers and users. And the whole point of an MVP is you do it while at the same time minimizing risk by keeping your costs low in case it doesn't work, but also maximizing your growth potential if the idea does turn out to be good. So if the MVP works out, you are in a position where you can quickly iterate and improve upon it in order to grow your revenue and grow your customer base or whatever it is that your idea is focusing on. So everyone that I talk to, everyone usually has a good understanding of the potential benefits of their idea, and they always are like, oh, it's going to make $1 million in a month, or I'm going to be a billionaire in a year, or this person's going to love it, and that person's going to love it, and this user's going to love it, and this person solves that problem. But there's a very good chance, based on my experience, that they're wrong. That the idea sucks, or it isn't going to gain traction, or they're not going to put enough effort into marketing and sales, and no one's going to know about it, and then the idea will fail. There's a very real chance that people will lose whatever resources and money and cash and time that they put into their minimum viable product simply because it doesn't work. So that's the whole point of the minimum viable product, is to minimize the risk of building it, because it might fail. There's a very real chance of it failing. So when customers are out shopping, or potential people are out shopping and for software shops and everything, they really need to look for one that is able to develop with minimal costs while still positioning the minimum viable product for maximum benefit. So they really need a software shop that's able to that recognizes the fact that the idea might be bad, that it might fail. So they don't want to be charged for stuff that they don't need, or they can do later, or isn't really necessary. So the minimum feature set, the minimum software, the minimum administration overhead, the minimum security practices, the minimum scalability, all the stuff needs to be done at the proper level so that you're not wasting effort, you're not wasting resources. So if and when it does fail, you don't lose more than you should, if that makes sense. But at the same time, they need to at least put effort into it so that if it does work, then they're in a good position to leverage the product in order to expand it and turn it into a real revenue source. So what do I mean by all of that? Well, basically, you have to be willing to take the hit in order to do it. This is the risk factor of being an entrepreneur, of starting a new business, of doing everything. You might fail, but look for a software dev shop that's willing to help you not fail, if that makes sense. So they want to develop your code so that it works. They want to design it so that it looks good. They want to, or you want them, excuse me, to have good software development practices, to minimize your future costs if and when it succeeds. You want a software shop that doesn't put wasted effort into things that can be done later after the idea is validated, like scalability, for example, or you want a software shop that recognizes the importance of security, but at the same time isn't going to put in too much that isn't needed yet. So definitely the minimum of hashing passwords, salting passwords, of protecting personally identifiable information, excuse me, or even just making sure that, if you're logged in, you're not seeing someone else's stuff, to keep everything separated and siloed. Yeah, we do that. That's our focus. So we value it. So you can read the blog post about why we're valuable and why you get a better benefit for your cost and your better return on it than you would with other software developer shops. But the overall point of it is we focus on what needs to be done, the minimal part, but we don't cut corners. So you're going to get a good value for your dollar. You're going to get a good value for the month of development time or however long it takes. You're going to get a good value, even if it fails, even if your idea isn't good, because we'll keep the cost to a minimum so you won't lose as much as with other shops. Yeah, anyways, my name's Joe. Reach out. We'll build your software. We'll keep the risk to a minimum and maximize your potential.